I mean, what happens in between 2022 to 2027 that you are changing the narrative? That one is a question for the public.
That is so unnecessary. But the president is going around this country himself because he wants to understand the problem of youth himself. That is why he's not sending anybody else. That's why he's going himself, because he wants to hear directly.
Yes. Why will the president work with at most 5 CSs with 10 PSs to go and launch a Nyota project? In fact, they are just disbursing that Nyota project.
That is a business you can start with as low as 5,000 Kenyan shillings.
Youth form the majority of the voting blocks, and youth are the most active participants in the voting. I mean, in the political discourse or the political process.
Let's assume you're very hungry, and somebody is telling you, "Here food. I have food here for you. Come eat." Would you start questioning, saying, "Will you give me the money to come there? Will you give me fare to come and eat that food?" You're already angry. You want that food. I'm providing the food. Come for it.
We are going to start with my right-hand side.
Yeah, my name is Mwindi Aswani, a political analyst and a commentator.
My name is Joe Frodero. I'm an operations specialist from University of Nairobi, and a concerned youth and young Kenyan who is now under an organization called Youth for Kenya 2027 and beyond.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Dennis Kiprotich, aka Tycoon, political mobilizer for UDA party and an aspirant.
Okay. I'm your host, Calvin. Today I want to talk about politics of the young generation. You have seen there's a group of young generation who have started doing some campaigns. Wengi wamebeba kina Babu Owino, kina Edwin Sifuna, na also in government also. Now, ningependa kuuliza ama panelists, what do they think about the young generation in politics? Yes, Mr. Swan.
One, my take is this: looking at the legal framework in this republic, that is our constitution, it has marginalized the youth. The youth are taken as marginalized and the most remote people. It means that we are seen as people who are not privileged, or we are supposed to be helped to some point so that we can get the help. But when you look at the demography, it doesn't lie that youth are the majority. They form close to 75% of this population. So these are not people you can underrate at any given cost. And these are the people who need to be heard. They are not people who are supposed to be helped. They are people who are supposed to be called on a given table and be served the menu any other person would wish to be served. So personally, I don't object their vision. In fact, I embrace their vision and the ideal points and concrete points they're bringing on board to make this country move, and more so representation.
Myself, if you look at the definition of a youth, constitutionally within the Kenyan law, in the Kenyan context, a youth is defined as somebody between the age of 18 and 35.
Yes.
That is somebody who has attained the age of 18, a voter, and has not surpassed the age of 35. Now, if you look at the demographic and the statistics within the country, youth form the majority of the voting blocks, and youth are the most active participants in the voting. I mean, in the political discourse or the political process of the country.
Yeah.
Why do we say that? Because number one, youth are used as the mobilizers. Youths are employed as the electoral clerks, and youths are also used as influencers by the political parties. But then again, if you look at, and if you also look at the historically speaking, Jaramogi Oginga, the father to Raila, started something called Luo Thrift at the age of 35. Tom Mboya was where truly is at the age of 23. If you look at the clamor for multi-party, all of them were young tasks. So at every given generation, there comes a time when youths have to chart their own political discourse within a given country. And for me right now, I say that youth are charting their political discourse because number one, probably they are seeing that their voices are not felt enough. So if you tell me I would say that youth are charting their own political discourse based on whatever it is that they are seeing that is happening to the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Taikun.
I think for me, you will come again to the question because of I've had many things and maybe I
Yeah.
lost the question along the way.
What do you think youths are going in this political arena?
Are going.
The plan of the youth in this political arena.
I think the plan of the youth in this political arena is I'm calling upon the youth to support the government because this is where the youth will benefit. I know there are many people that come with agendas, that come with political narratives that does not help youth, and they mobilize and they are using the problems that the youth have to call them, to trap them, for the youth to go against the government, for the youth to go for demonstrations that will end up losing their lives, that will end being disabled, things that will not help youth. Me, I'm calling the youth for this country that don't allow politicians who lack direction and form to come and lie to you, to tell you the stories of one term, to tell you the stories, the slogans that are not exist and doesn't help anybody. I am calling upon the youths to align with the government and to follow the programs that the government have, like the Nyota, like the jobs that the government advertises, and apply them and go for them. And that's where the youth will benefit in politics.
Yes, Mr. Taikun.
Yes.
We are seeing youths are coming up to be in leadership. What do you think? They really invest in leadership?
Yeah, perfect. In the youths are supposed to go for these leadership positions. We as the youths, in fact, we are not discussing for other people. It's us. We as the youths, I am calling upon my fellow youths, my colleagues. Let's go for this. Let's go for these elective posts. Let's go for these government jobs. Let's vie. Let's mobilize and get elected and lead our country and show them how youths can lead the country.
We have seen a lot of these leaders in the government, county government, and also the MPs and the MCs. There's a lot of corruption invading this leadership. As a youth who is vying for a leadership in this country, what can you tell them? Yes, Mr. Swan.
Personally, I wanted to retaliate whatever
Okay,
you have
okay.
just said.
Yes, you are allowed.
The government, the youth should rally behind the government, of which the youths have done so. And the youths have decided to chart their own political way. It should be remembered, just recently on Sunday, the youth gathered together under Article 37 of the Kenyan Constitution, and they decided that this is what we want. These are our bare minimum. These are our bare demands that we are coming on the table. But the government of the day went ahead to a point it disrupted that gathering and shot a youth dead. Right now, there is a youth who is in the mock. Right now. Secondly, you are talking about youth supporting the government. Youth have supported the government, but the government has lacked a clear structure and a clear framework on how it can narrow down resources to help a common youth, to a point you can even see them saying everyday youth, time now and then youth, we want youth. What is all about this youth? It's high time that the government should have and chart a clear structure on how it's going to cater for its youth.
Yes, as you said, the government should set a structure. What do you think government can do to set this structure?
Thank you. Yes, go ahead. Answer that question.
This is my input. The government should not call youth in political rallies. We need town hall meetings where we'll deliberately discuss avenues on how we are going to sort out the elements that we are going through. But if they wait for political rallies, there is nothing they are going to offer. Those are just political narratives and hot air. There is nothing that will happen.
Okay, Mr. Jeff.
I have got a point of
Maybe I would have answered.
Divergence.
Yeah.
There is something that we have to understand very well, and if we do not understand it, or if we don't have the knowledge, then we should go back to the books of history. History is there to remind us. Now, the question is that the thing that we should have to understand is that our current president because he should be very abreast with the issue of youth, because he knows very well where he's sitting, he knows where he started. Our current president was Youth for KANU YK92. He was a founding member of that chapter. When he first became a member of parliament, our current president should not be blind to that fact. He was a member of parliament at the age of 31 when he dislodged Chepkeres as the member of parliament. So our president should understand how difficult it is for a youthful politician to galvanize resources and to be in a political discourse and to charter his own path. So it could have been that when youths are now reorganizing themselves, it is with the same ambition that he had when he was trying to get into politics that these same youths are having. The same ambition that he had those many years ago.
During those days, that is
During those days.
97 when he was vying for the first time in MP.
First time as an MP.
And yeah.
So when he joined YK92, somebody gave him a platform.
Yeah.
When he became an MP, somebody gave him a platform. But he should be alive to the fact that it is as difficult as it was in those days. It is much, much more difficult for a youth today as it is. So when youths are charting their path, it is not a threat. They are also charting a path for the country. And as we had said before, every generation has got those youths that are charting forward for the next generation.
Yes, Mr. Swan, before you finish, Mr. Tycoon.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that I heard my friend saying the government doesn't have a plan for youths. I want to tell them that they should open their ears, they should open their eyes and see, because what we saw in Kitengela was not something for youths. That was something for politicians. That was something for selfish politicians who want their own gain, who want to use youths. For example, you're calling the youths to come and tell them one time. You're calling the youths. You're not telling them the plan. How, for instance, that meeting in Kitengela, I was following as a youth. I didn't see any benefit. There was nothing that was said. Youths are going to get this. There were no plan. There were nothing. That was like chaos. That was like demonstration. Because you cannot tell me the government is not delivering. And when the government wants to deliver, you are every time on the street. You are every time making unnecessary noise. You are every time making stories that doesn't add up. The stories of one time, the stories of I don't know what. So what I'm trying to say is the president has every way and is really willing to help the youths of this country. And I'm telling you, this guy that says we want town hall meetings and stuff, they exist. You've seen the president going all over the country for the Nyota program. You've seen the president going all over the country
Let me
for the
ask you, Mr.
empowerment.
Tycoon. Most in the media sector, people are even on digital platforms, people are asking, why should the president involve himself in Nyota Fund? Can it supposed to give the account to CS or somebody to monitor about the Nyota funds?
I think the question should be, is Nyota helping? Not how Nyota is going. Because William Ruto is right now the president of the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah, it's supposed to be managed.
And that is the way he has seen he can do it best, as long as the objective is for the young people to be supported. It's for the young people to be empowered, not how he's going to do it. At the end of the day, people are being empowered, people are getting employment, people are starting their business. I think that is very important.
It is good for him, youth Vijana, but most of the people are asking, why is it involving himself? He's using it as a platform of campaigning of rallies. Why?
Whether you call it campaigning or call it whatever you want to call it. The other day, what you call it in Kitengela, you're saying it's a youth coming together. Was it not a campaign? Wasn't it? It was a campaign, and it was a baseless campaign, because you're going there, you come home while you have been tear gassed, you come home while you have been shot. You see, that is so unnecessary. But the president is going around this country himself because he wants to understand the problem of youth himself. That is why he's not sending anybody else. That's why he's going himself, because he wants to hear directly from the youth.
Okay,
Let me point something out that you seem not to be alive to.
Yeah.
There was somebody once said that the tree of liberty must be replenished from time to time by the blood of patriots and tyrants. That is number one. Number two, Oh, in a mature democracy, in a mature democracy, or in a progressive democracy, one thing has to be certain: differences of opinion have to be accepted. You cannot at any given time expect me to have the same opinion as you. If we disagree on an opinion, then the position would be, then tell me the reason why I should support you. And if I don't agree with that, then I should tell you the reason why I don't support you. Let me tell you, Nyota program is very good,
Thank you.
but it is
You should clap
ill-timed.
for, you should clap
Yes,
for that. That is very
Nyota
good.
program is very good.
Yeah, say it loud.
Now,
Yes.
but it is ill-timed. The second question, is it sustainable in the long run? Is it sustainable in the long run? Who is funding the Nyota program?
The government of Kenya.
The government of Kenya or the World Bank?
The World Bank.
Now, who guarantees you that the World Bank is going to give that fund, or that is going to provide the same funding in the next 2 years again? When we rely on such empowerment programs that are funded by donors, we are at the mercy of these donors. If they do not release the funding, the empowerment program collapses as it is. Now, if you tell me, like I said, every generation is charting the course. What was the campaign slogan for this government that we have way back in 2022? I'm not pro-government, but I'm debating objectively. The government largely campaigned on the basis of youth. Now, if you are implementing what you campaigned on, those were the promises that you gave to youth. My friend, you are not doing these youths a favor. You are fulfilling your pledges to them. Now, then the question then would therefore be, have you fulfilled the pledges that you gave to the youth to the utmost? Because if the government would have done that, if the government would have fulfilled its pledges, the government would still be continuing with the hustler narrative. But today, go with the same hustler narrative up kwa street. Why is it that the narrative is changing? The narrative is changing because the government has realized that they failed the youth. Now the question that should therefore be, if you say that the president is moving around, the president is moving around because for him as an individual, he sees that there is no one who is also capable enough to move with the same energy that he is moving with across the country to implement such a program. If there could have been, then he would have delegated. And that is what we call leadership. Leadership is sometimes you trust somebody to do what you are supposed to do. You cannot do it all. But what is the president doing? The president has to do it himself so that everything has to be a success. The president was in Kakamega, was in Kisumu, was in Kilifi, was in Wajir. I don't know when the edition of Nairobi will be coming. All this he has to do himself because he cannot trust the lieutenants that he has to fulfill that mandate. Now, if you say that the government has done so much for the youth,
I think I should object.
if you say that the government,
Just allow me.
I will give you
Just
time.
allow me to say something.
If you say that the government,
because whatever that the narrative that you want to sell is very wrong.
I'm
and
not selling a narrative. I'm not selling a narrative.
I should rescue something.
If
You're saying
okay,
you're saying the president is doing it himself because he doesn't trust anybody.
yes,
That is wrong. That is wrong. You are not the spokesman of the president.
My
that
question
is
is-
my assumption.
That is
my assumption.
That is your observation.
Because
and I think that one.
Let's one at a time.
And I think that one I think you should keep for yourself. I think you should just tell us how you want the president to do things. Don't say the president is doing this because you're speaking on behalf of president directly, of which you are not in that capacity. I think the president has other different reasons that we don't know. Maybe when he comes here one
Why
day,
delegate
he
these
will
people?
tell us.
Why delegate himself to run this not a
This is what is disturbing me.
Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
First
Swan.
place.
Yes.
Why will the president work with at most 5 CSs with the 10 PSs to go and launch a Nyota project? In fact, they are just disbursing that Nyota project. To me, I take that as a looting scheme of the government. The government officials are looting public money through that scheme. Number 2, Nyota,
As it was said,
Wait.
they said this money is not like it is being funded
Yeah, it is
by the World
by the
Bank. So
World
if you say they are looting the money of the Republic of Kenya, then you're very wrong.
you know,
From the start, that is dead on
you
arrival.
know, Nyota,
Yes.
Nyota is just something you just come and unveil it like yes, you have already given him money. Why would he come with 7 CSs? Those people, those vehicles have been fueled. There is lunch allowance, there is transport allowance. That money is equally can be diverted to the health ministry to supply what? To supply medical. Number two, Nyota is a grant from the World Bank.
So your problem is your problem is president working with PSS.
Yes, why?
To the Nyota program.
Why? It's something that can be launched by a chief, not even the president himself.
No.
It can be launched.
No.
A chief is an extension of the president.
My friend, don't be petty.
No, not even petty.
Yeah, don't be petty. Don't say it can be launched by chief. What are you trying to say?
Mr. Mudassir,
A chief is an extension of the president's office.
Yes, but you can't say it can belong to the
So
chief.
let him
Number
interject.
two.
Yes,
Number two,
yes,
when Nyota
Then you tackle.
came, we were told,
yes.
it's in the even the public domain, that each youth was going to get 100,000 shillings. Later on, it was reduced to 70. Later on, reduced to 50. Right now, it is being disbursed twice. That is 22,500, and again in the second phase, another 22,500.
So the reason they said 100,000, right?
Yes.
But then the technocrats who went to the ground, they found out that if you give this youth 100,000 once, he might misuse it and end up being bankrupt at the same time. So they said it's better to manage these people, give them a bit by a bit. You start a business, and then you come back and say this business so far is here, so you're being boosted. That is the best way to start a business. You start from down, and remember the slogan for the government is bottom up. You start from bottom, you go up. So that's what they are doing.
now
So just be patient.
let me just interject.
Yes.
Yes.
If you are the same regime that campaigned with the bottom-up manifesto in 2022, with the hustler narrative in 2022, I mean, what happens in between 2022 to 2027 that you are changing the narrative? That one is a question for the public consumption.
No, I can answer that.
Number two,
I can answer that.
Number two, if the money was funded by World Bank, when I talked about sustainability, these things are dependent on donor funding.
Yes.
Now, the World Bank gave Kenya, I hear it is 500 million, but I'm not abreast with the figures. But now, if it was that much, now the question then therefore is, if at all these funds have to be sustainable enough, because you have the sustainability is that I can access the fund today, and other youth will also access the funds next year. What happens if the donors do not fund the program?
Thank you. That's a very good question.
Yes.
This is for empowerment, right?
Yes.
This is the money that you're given to start a business.
Yes.
This is not like a salary that we need it forever. You start a business and you start paying yourself. You start a business, tomorrow we boost you and its deal is over. You started now, you become now the employer. You employ other people, you empower other people. That is the program. We don't want this thing to continue.
To empower the youth.
Yeah, just to empower the youth, and when the youth are stable, it's good, it's done. Deal done, it's have achieved the objective.
You and me will have to agree on this.
Yeah.
Yes,
With the current market economy,
yes.
22,000 shillings. What kind of business is 22,000 shillings going to start?
A lot of business.
Which one?
Can you give us an example?
Just an
Uh,
example, so that we get to sort item by item.
That
For now,
business-
we are going to arrive
I think that business you asked the right person. 22,000 today, you can go for these companies that are giving out motorbikes on loan. There are some companies you pay 15,000, 20,000, you get a motorbike, you start your business. You can go to Kikomba and pay the bills for the clothes, for the mitumba clothes, and find a place, sell them. You will gain it.
How much is a bill?
A bill is like 8,000 to 12,000. You can buy 2 bells, 3 bells. It depends on which kind of business you want to start. There are a lot of business you can start. And let me tell you, if you cannot manage 22,000 with your business, then even 1 million you cannot manage.
Let me tell you on the issue of startup capital, and then we will move to the issue of corruption.
Yes.
For you to grow a business, like I told you, I'm talking from a point of operations.
Operation. Yeah.
For you to grow a business, there are issues of cost implication. Now, for you to grow a business, there are stages of business cycles, life cycle of a business. That one also affects the issue of pricing. That one also affects the issue of, sourcing. Like you were saying, you can go and take a motorbike, you can go and take mitumba bales. Today, if you were to start that business with 22,000 shillings, which I don't object, that model of business is only working to somebody who's already having something to do. If you were to start a business today, my friend,
Yeah.
you will have to take around 2 to 3 months in order for that business to grow so that you can delegate to someone. Now, when you are spending your morning 8 to 5 or 8 to 9 in that business, it means that you have cut off all any other engagements that can bring you money. So therefore, if you are in an urban center, it means that that business is your rent, that business is your lunch, that business is your everything. It means now you depend on that. Now take a capital of 22,000. What are you remaining with so that the business can grow? My friend, 22,000 for a business that is starting is not sustainable. And by then, this is something that we are looking into resources. I mean, what I have right now is I can pinpoint to the challenges of empowerment programs. This is something that is not sustainable. If it would have been 100,000, we can say that you can start a business and you can employ someone.
I think
But if it is 22,000, 1, 2, 3, up to 22, with a business that you are going to start from a scratch, and you still need, probably you did not even have the business idea in mind. You still need to plan. You still have, and when you are going for this empowerment program, when you are going, are you funded to go? Okay, probably you can be funded. When you are coming back, are you funded with the money to come back? When you are now doing the planning part, my friend, 22,000 is not sustainable.
you know,
Yes, Mr.
The model, the model and the funding is not
no.
sustainable.
Let me answer it before I forget it.
Yeah.
You know, if today, let's assume you're very hungry, and somebody is telling you, here food, I have food here for you, come eat. Would you start questioning, saying, will you give me the money to come there? Will you give me fare to come and eat that food? You're already hungry. You want that food. I'm providing the food. Come for it. Take it. Will you start saying, oh, you're giving me this food. This ugali is not cooked well. These vegetables are not cooked well. You see, you have a problem, and I am giving you the solution for the problem. This 22,000, it is not even in the government programs or stuff. The president himself has gone an extra mile of saying, let me support the youths of this country because they are jobless, because he understands youths more than him himself understands. That's why the president is saying, I am giving you 100,000, but I'm not giving you all 100,000 at once. I'm starting with 20,000. If you have 22,000, my friend, let me tell you today, you can go to sell mayai, eggs in town. Yeah, the box, you can go buy a bucket. Bucket is like 200 shillings. You go buy a sufuria to boil the eggs. Sufuria is like 400 shillings. And start with 100 eggs. In fact, you'll just need 5,000 for the business to start. And 5,000, you still have 17,000. And you grow slowly by slowly. People who are selling eggs here in town, sometimes they make more than 1,000 per day. And that's very sustainable. So if you say 22,000 is not sustainable, let me tell you, you're just limiting your mind. So I'm telling my friends, just think outside the box. Simple.
I hear somebody saying that an idle mind is a devil workshop. Let me tell you about monopolistic market, oligopolistic market, and perfect competition. And imperfect competition. Now, with facts, business-wise, that have been proven. Monopoly is like Kenya Power. Oligopolistic market is a business that is supported by a government. Two entities operating within the market. Within a market. Perfect competition. Everybody has got the right to choose. Now you are saying that on the issue of buying mayai. How many youths do you think should buy? If they were to start that business of mayai, how many youths do you think that one can sustain in this market?
Like I said,
put it so that you can go to another.
It's a question you asked.
And then
I can't let it go.
On the issue
The problem is that we are discussing.
Listen,
We are discussing. You said something. Let me.
You are interjecting.
You
are interjecting.
Allow me. It's allowed.
Allow me finish.
Allow me finish. Yeah.
Then you can continue.
Yeah.
You say on the issue of border. on the issue of border border because I'm giving you examples. These crises, we've seen them. These border borders that are being taken or are being taken on loan because probably you will do it and you take it for for your brother. Do you know? And that is something also. If this government was very serious, they would have liberated that market for border border. How many? What was the scandal of Spiro the other day? What was the scandal of Mogolons the other day? So how many people are saying that he took a loan? He took he took he took a motorbike at 15,000. He has paid over 70,000, and he still the government. The loan or the organization, the lender is still demanding another 100,000. What has the government done about it? So if you were to look at this market, the way sure that we start this thing, but along the value chain at the end of the road, we are controlling both the narrative from the start and the narrative at the end. So that what the youths need in this country right now, if you were to tell me, is that number one, a perfect business environment. Perfect business environment to do business. Number one, you control the people. The border, because that is why we give the government has got all the legal instruments of power. If you are targeting that, okay, I'm giving the youth the 22,000 so that they are going to be in the border business. Now then you say that, okay, is the border business, is the players within the border sector and the industry as a whole, is it properly regulated? Are they abiding by the law? There is no need for you to give me 22,000.
Yeah.
I go and take a loan on, a motorbike on loan. Then one time at some point in time, Spiro was now saying that you have to charge, you have to recharge. Within a week, you have to recharge your motorbike 3 times a week. What happens if I'm sick and I've not used that motorbike?
Let me.
They are doing repossession.
Now allow me to say.
In that regard, I will give you the time to respond. But to me as an individual, where I'm sitting, the president can do more.
Much more.
Much more with that.
Okay. Can you respond?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Like I told you before, don't just limit your mind, because you said how many youths will start the business of Mayai. I was just giving an example. Mayai was an example. If you want to give me more examples, I will give you. You've seen the people selling socks here. To buy that bundle of socks is like 1,500 shillings, and you come sell it, go buy another one. You've seen people selling bananas. You've seen mama mbogas. They go to Muturwa, buy vegetables in big volumes and come to sell in estates. That is a business you can start with as low as 5,000 Kenyan shillings. So what I'm telling my friend is that you're talking with somebody who has experience in this field. Actually, me, I've been a hawker, I've been a border rider, and I understand these things. I think my friend here is very far from the truth. I want to tell you that today in border sector, the government has regulated it and has told them to create a circles. And if you walk down here today, you will find reflectors written circles. Many circles here in town today. Border have circles, and they have their stage number and their state name on their bikes. That is what the government is doing. They want to regulate the business, not even border alone. All the small scale businesses, the government is working on it. Border is just one example. So I was trying to tell you that if you say this money is not sustainable, and if you say this 22,000 doesn't make sense, then gentlemen, honestly, like I am giving you a startup capital, and you want to complain that, I don't want this money, and you are saying you want to solve the problem of jobless. Really? Are we really helping if we say you should abolish this deal? No. I think we should embrace it, and we should go for it. We should take it, start a business, and move this country to Singapore.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Swan.
We'll continue with the next point. I think that point is
So
exhausted.
let's now go to the last point
On corruption.
on corruption. You've seen a lot of government institutions. Just recently, there was a debate in the Senate about some governors using a lot of money. For example, Governor Bungoma spent around 5 million just putting a flower. There's a governor. There's also this issue in government itself, the national government, about fund get lost. That is in education sector, 5 billion get lost. Then recently in SHA, 11 billion get lost. What do you think education, mostly in education sector, because I'm depend on education. Most youth are engage in education, and we're seeing these funds are getting lost in education sector. How can the youth engage in this? How to solve this issue of corruption? Yes, Mr. Swan.
Personally,
Hmm.
I condemn those acts from the governors, especially the governors who signed that document that they are being extorted money by the senators, number one. Two,
Hmm.
I want to commend the good work done by the Auditor General and the reports she issued. Secondly, I'm so devastated with the corruption at the devolution, the devolved
devolution.
government. Yeah. Because when devolution came, we thought devolution was now the problem solver of these issues. And we knew that now we are going to fill the government to our doorstep. The developments could be felt and could be tangible seen to our doorsteps. But unfortunately, that's not the case. A good example is my governor himself, Governor Viga County, spent 5 million in housewarming. 5 million in housewarming. And you could count the number of people who are in that housewarming by eyes, by just pointing out. Those people could not even reach close to 50 people. And they spent 5 million. It's so pathetic, it's so suicidal that it is not even adding up to any literate man or any person within the republic of this country. Okay. Number two, another example is someone spending 3.7 million in buying a Christmas tree. Surely. And there are children studying in dilapidated classrooms. This is an embarrassment, total embarrassment. Mark you, these are the people who are close to the president and they are drumming up support saying two-term, two-term. I don't oppose two-term, I don't oppose one-term. It's within their democratic rights to have a divergent opinion, as much as we support the president. But let the president get to know that these are the people turning his name down. These are the people who are turning his projects down.
Okay.
They are total letdown. The president should wake up and, we gave him instruments of power. He should recall these people and tell them they are doing bad. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Jeff.
You can give him the floor first.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. My friend is saying those people, those corrupt leaders are close to president. I want to tell him even the Satan was very close to God, and he did something wrong. So you cannot limit the people close to you to do whatever they want to do because everybody is working with his or her common sense. So with the issue of corruption, it's so unfortunate that we have corrupt leaders. But for me, I will commend we have arms of government that are dealing with the corruption. I think the DCIs and the DPP should work on this. I think that is the best way because I am not in any position maybe to do anything. Maybe I'll just say those arms of government that are supposed or that are mandated to do with corruption, they should deal with it to the latter. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Jeff.
I think on the issue of corruption, I think there is a mutual consensus about the speakers who have spoken. But it is very unfortunate that at this modern day and age, and the only part that I want to fault with the president is that he is quiet on the issue of corruption. The reason why I want to fault the president, because at the end of the day, everything within the Republic of Kenya, the buck falls with the president, or the buck stops with the president. The reason why I'm saying that, the first suicidal, I call it suicidal because it was, the farmers were near going suicide. The first suicidal corruption case that we witnessed in this country was fake fertilizers. After the fake fertilizers, today we had just in the newspaper today, the
fertilizers were compensated
in the news.
Friend.
The problem is not being compensated.
Yes.
The problem is that you cannot reward wrong with the wrong.
And I want to remind you also, it's not the president who should call out the person who is corrupt. That is not his job. We are in a democratic country.
This is your government. Now, all these instruments of power, because that is the reason why this two-term ideology will not resonate with somebody who is very sober. Because corruption, as within all its forms,
But we are sober and we are
It's
saying truth.
bad.
No, that's
corruption.
Mr. Moderator.
Let me just say that
I think
corruption.
that is an insult. I think
Corruption.
that is pure insult.
Listen,
No, I think that is no. He should withdraw that.
Listen,
He should withdraw that.
I'm not
No, that
going
is
to
an
withdraw.
insult.
Listen,
He should
let me
withdraw
finish.
that. No, but if you want us to have a sober discussion, then let's not insult each other. Yeah, withdraw that.
Let me say this. For somebody who is seeing Kenya,
No,
beyond where Kenya should be.
withdraw first. Withdraw that statement first. Withdraw it.
Because I'm very sober.
Yes.
But for somebody who is seeing
You
Kenya,
haven't withdrawn.
He has already withdrawn.
Okay.
for somebody who is seeing Kenya,
Uh-huh.
beyond where Kenya should be 20 years from now or 30 years from now, who knows the kind of the burden that corruption is going to levy on us, will not allow corruption to fester in any form. Now, let me give critical examples. I have started with the fertilizer scandal, and you say that farmers were compensated.
Yes.
It means that you are glorifying corruption and do not speak about it. Number two, just recently,
Nobody's glorifying. Nobody's glorifying corruption.
I'm not a writer.
You say that means you are glorifying. We are not glorifying.
Listen.
We are not glorifying. Nobody's glorifying corruption.
From where I see,
That is why the CS for agriculture was fired, and some people was arrested, and that is why the president took go on an extra mile to compensate the Kenyans.
Let him finish, then we-
any meaningful
Because the show is
conversation,
over.
in any meaningful conversation,
Yes.
I think I gave you the chance. I gave you the chance.
Yeah.
to speak your view, and then
I
I have
finish.
got the floor.
Yeah.
So now I am
Let him finish in
pointing
1
out.
minute.
Okay.
Just then there were students who joined grade 10. Do you know the number of ghost students that have registered within the registration system? 87,000 ghost students. Go and check the Daily or the Standard. I'm not an auditor of any. Number two, if you look at SHA, 11 billion got lost. Has anyone from the government spoken about it? No. It is the Auditor General who flagged that, not me, not you. I mean, at the county levels, the governor of Wajir, in a drought area, as it is, 55 million on avocado seedlings, and really you want to support that? It is wrong.
We are not supporting that.
I mean,
That is very wrong.
Wind up.
that is Auditor General. Now, the government the two governors in Western Kenya, if you look at them, one, a Christmas tree worth 3.7 million. The other one, housewarming worth 5 million shillings. Then you expect me to sit preach. The Senate Public Account Committee is doing its job. And this is the IEBC. When we are speaking, remember we have got the privilege to represent those people in West Pokot who cannot come to Nairobi, next to the center proximity of power, and to champion for these things. Today, you are championing for that government because they are you are on that side of the government. And corruption is corruption. Corruption is corruption. And be sure with what Orengo, I normally stick to what Orengo normally says, that when you are in the position of power, make decisions or laws that you think can be favorable to you if they are in the hands of your worst enemy.
Okay.
So to me, where I sit, the corruption at the county level, the Senate cannot be fighting to give governors money, and when they are called to account, then they cannot account for that money. How did you use that money, even in your own household?
Okay.
If you use money, you have to account. Ile nilinunua sukari, ile nikanunua unga. And if somebody asks you, that is the correct position to take.
Okay. We'll wind it from there. I want you to take 30 seconds, each one of you. You take partition, 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. So for me, I am supporting the government, but I am not supporting corruption in any way. Corruption is an evil that will really consume us. And I think we should differentiate between the president and the governors and the senators. So me, I'm supporting the president, but those governors that are corrupt, they should be prosecuted.
Okay, thank you. Aswan? Aswan?
One, I'm one guy who is pro-government. I'm a supporter of the government. And secondly, I want the president, the institutions that are mandated to fight corruption. He should empower those institutions, and I want to see those corrupt leaders being arraigned. That is my parting shot.
Yes.
I think going forward, to the governors who are implicated in the corruption scandals and who have refused to appear before the Senate Public Account Committee, you are going to face the most difficult time when you are seeking your second term, or when you are seeking any other political representation. Because when you are elected in an office, you have to be accountable for that office. And then for me, as an individual, where I sit, I think the government should, right now where it is, should be campaigning on the basis of what it has done to the public, as opposed to changing a new narrative. That is my parting shot.
Thank you. Keep it locked, Global News.